Mm.
Thank you.
Catch material.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to the esteemed dignitaries and the audience for gracing this book release function with their august presence. It is an honor for all here today that Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankarji, founder, Art and Living Foundation, renowned humanitarian, and peace ambassador, will be unveiling the book Story of a Clan, a Legacy Untold. Our gratitude to Justice M.N. Venkatachalaya, former Chief Justice of India, for his contribution to the book and for agreeing to join us virtually for the release function. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the author and creator of this, Sri SS Naganand, for writing this beautiful narrative, bringing to life the rich legacy of his family. And last but not the least, welcome to the audience joining us from all across the country and various corners of the world in celebrating this publication. As publishers, it is a proud and a momentous occasion for all of us at Oakbridge for bringing a part of this wonderful publication and for the opportunity of working so closely with Sri SS Naganand. I would like to thank Ms. Sharda Naganand for supporting us at various stages of publishing process. In the book, Mr. Naganand has chronicled the journey of his erudite and illustrious family, tracing the journey and lives of his ancestors. The book not only speaks of the professional accomplishments of his ancestors, but more importantly, the life lessons that he has imbibed from them, assigning importance to all facets of human life, including personal, professional, and spiritual. It is the underlying message in the book that is of utmost importance. The several anecdotes and experiences narrated in the books relating to travel, history, law, and tradition makes it for an interesting read. One will also see the transformation of Bangalore city over a period of time as it reveals through the stories and incidents recounted in this book. We hope that the readers will find the book engaging and of extreme value. Without taking much time on on this count, I would now like to invite Sri Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankarji to release the book. Thank you.
ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानेकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟ ದೇವತೆ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಗಾಡ್, ಮತ್ತು ಕುಲ ದೇವತೆ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಡೈಟಿ, ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರಾಮ ದೇವತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ದೇವತೆ, ಹೀಗೆ ರಾಜ್ಯ ದೇವತೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ದೇವತೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಪರ್ಸನಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ತನಕ ನಾಡ ಮತ್ತು ಭುವನ ದೇವತೆ, ಇಡೀ ನಮ್ಮ ಭುವನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ದೇವತೆ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಆಟೋಬಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಬರೀತಾರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ತಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮಕಥೆ ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಮಾತ್ರ ತಮ್ಮ ಕುಲದ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಬರೀತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಈ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ದಿಶೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಗಾನಂದಜಿಯವರು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾನ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಕುಲದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೌರವ, ಅದರ ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಪೀಳಿಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ದಾರಿದೀಪವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೂರ್ವಜರು ಹೀಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ, ಹುರುಪು, ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಪರಿವಾರ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಜನದ ತನಕ ಆ ಪರಿವಾರ ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಹಿಂದೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಾತ ಮುತ್ತಾತ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಅವರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದರು ಹಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಲವನ್ನು ಪರಿಶೀಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಕುಲದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೌರವ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರಘು ಕುಲ ತಿಲಕ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಆ ಕುಲದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ರಾಮನೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಥ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾದ ಕುಲ ಅಂತ ಆ ಕುಲದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವನು ಗರ್ವವನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ಕುಲದ ತಿಲಕ ಅಂತಂದವಾಗ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಕುಲದ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠತೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಕುಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಶಬ್ದದಿಂದನೇ ಕ್ಲಾನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರೋದು. ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಇರ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಲಾನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕುಲದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅರಿವಿರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಪೂರ್ವಜರೇನಿದ್ರು ಅವರು ಕುಲಕ್ಕೆ ಮರ್ಯಾದೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಇವರು ನೀವು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಅದೊಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಫೆಟರ್ನಿಟಿಯ ದೇವರು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾರಂತ ವೆಂಕಟಾಚಲಯ್ಯನವರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮುನ್ನುಡಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ನಾಗಾನಂದಜಿಯವರು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತಮ ಕೋಟಿಯ ಲಾಯರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರೊಬ್ಬರು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅವರ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ವಾದಾಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿರೋ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕುಲ ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಿ ಹಿಡಿದಿರೋದು ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷದ. ಇದನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೀಗೆ ಇದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನಲ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ. Yes, a few words in English is to be proud of one's clan is important to establish self-esteem in coming generations. And our SS Naganand ji has earned such a reputation in the legal field. He is one of the finest lawyers of our advocate of our country. And he has not only established himself in the legal field, but he has also written about the legend of the clan, the family of the clan, to inspire generations to come. So I wish him all the best, and to his whole family. I know them from long time, from the very inception of Art of Living, from 40 years. We know them, and they have been doing excellent work, both in the religious and social field, and of course in the field of law and justice. So all the blessings to all of them. And the publisher who has come forward to Oakbridge, Sri Chandra Oakbridge taken up this job. All the best to all of you. Okay.
I request Honorable Justice Venkatachalaya to say a few words.
Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me? Naganand? Oh, the host had muted me. I had to unmute the thing. Thank you. Revered Ravi Shankar Guruji Maharaj, Sri Naganand,
Sir, we can hear you. Can you speak, sir?
Sri Srish Chandra, Sri Sachin Tripathi, all the invitees and the audience. It's a very special occasion. The book that has just now been launched by Revered Guruji is a rare kind of a book. It doesn't speak of men who have climbed mountains or led armies or launched successful enterprises or led social movements or had political achievements. It is the story of a family of 4 generations. And I have read that book in one sitting, and I must congratulate Mr. Naganand.
Sir, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ sir?
Are you able to? Am I audible?
We can hear you now, sir.
Naganand, am I audible?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
The book is about one family.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
One family from Central States. The book is about one family.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
I think there's something wrong with the audio system. Naganand? Hello? Hello? Hello?
ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದು ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ
Naganand,
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ವಾಯ್ಸ್
may I-
ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಓಕೆ ಐಮ್ ಅಫ್ರೇಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ we are deeply grateful to Gurudev for gracing the occasion and releasing the book. I thought I'll just say a few words. I remembered one shloka from the Bhagavad Gita. Yadyad acharati shreshtaha tat tat itare janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. That is the background for writing this book. This shloka simply says that there are certain great people and the life they lead and how they live, that is an ideal for others. And the standards which they set, those are the benchmarks for many of us, the followers, to follow. And they set the standards so high that we have to keep striving throughout our lives to reach those heights. That is the sum and substance of this small shloka in Bhagavad Gita. When I thought of writing the book, thanks to COVID, I was able to get some time. And when the courts were shut down, it was impossible for us to actually go to work. And therefore, this idea which had germinated in my mind for a long time took effect. And I made it an attempt to start dictating bits and pieces from my memory. Actually, I did not have any notes to write about. And I dug out some information.
So he's again live. He can hear. So both of us clashing. Your speech is also going. His speech is also going. Right. So we'll just hold on. Let him complete.
Okay.
And you can give pause and say.
Okay, I'll just pause.
Naganand,
You can't hear him. Huh? You can't hear him. Huh? You can't hear him. You can't hear him. There is a time lag.
Yes.
So you can start again, sir.
me? Hello? Hello? Are you able to listen to me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
You want me to say a few words again?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Thank you, thank
Sir, could
you.
you please repeat, sir?
Oh, thank you, thank you. Reverend Guruji, and the esteemed audience, I'm privileged to be with you on this occasion. The Oakbridge publishers have done an extraordinary job. I congratulate them. Sri Chandra, Salil Chopra, Sachin Tripathi, and others who are associated with this publication. What is special about this book? I've written a somewhat lengthy foreword. You can use your and mention why I consider this book an extraordinary book. It's not about great heroes who have climbed mountains or great politicians who have led mountains or great politicians who have led it is about the book is about people who have set standards of social behavior, who have set examples of what a householder's duty towards himself, towards the members of the family, and to society at large should be. Mr. Soldekoppa Ganesh Rao, the hero of the story, set an example of what social responsibilities that go with membership of the society. People don't know that he was instrumental in establishing a medical college in Bangalore. He was the inspiration behind it. He was instrumental in establishing an engineering college in Bangalore. Both of them flourished. And he conducted a large number of cases with great professional efficiency. I remember some 60 years ago, I was sitting in the court of the district magistrate, where he defended a police officer who was accused of extorting, he was accused of tampering with some loan transactions of a famous man who went down in history called B.N. Gopal Rao. And I heard Ganesh Rao arguing his case before the district magistrate in Bangalore sometime in 1951 or 52 or thereabouts. And he set up a hospital in his village at a time when the building of hospitals was not a fashion, not even seen as a responsible social duty of a householder. And he built his own temple and devoted himself totally to the Lord. And just imagine, he lived only 60 years. That's a small span of life by modern day standards. I am myself 93. And his son Sundar Swami excelled in the profession. Very sober, nice, gracious gentleman. I remember the Chief Justice of India went to his temple near Nelmangla, where Sundar Swami was visiting. The Chief Justice went there to persuade him to accept a judgeship. Sundar Swami, for perhaps good reasons, did not accept a judgeship. The importance of it is, we have seen a great lawyer of Bengal crossing the British Channel as one of the competing swimmers. We admire him. There's admiration, but there's no identification. I don't become a channel swimmer. We see people climbing mountains. We admire them. There's admiration. There's no identification. I can't be a mountain climber. We see great generals in the army. We respect them. We but we don't identify ourselves with them. There are some people, some persons by whose actions they make us feel establish a relationship with them in the sense that we want to be identified with their cause. Mr. Ganesh Rao was one of such great men. More importantly, the style of this there are great biographies. Biographies spoke of great heroes. There are biographies have spoken greatly of great anti-heroes as well. But the charming style that Naganand is gifted with, this book, launching the story of the family, has also launched a potential author who will be widely read hereafter when he writes about things about which he is competent to write. Law, for that matter. When I went through the book, the style is so easy to read, and the characters so beautifully narrated, and the description of events are so clear. And I think this is I refer to another book of the same genre about another family the title of the book is called Muru Talemaru, Three Generations. It speaks of the Thalakin Venkannaya family, and there are parallels of experiences, religious, spiritual, social, and the kind of incidents that the books refer to are simple household events, but they convey a deep message of how a man may hope to live. And this book speaks of the great services of Satya Sai Baba. And the page 224, Naganand has done me the honor of mentioning my occasion when in Naganand's residence I had the privilege of having the darshan of Satya Sai Baba. The narration is so beautiful, and I congratulate the publishers, the Oakbridge people, who have done a beautiful job. The printing, I just got the final book this afternoon. The photograph of Naganand and the face of it is so beautiful. It looks like a cinema star. And ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. This country is full of beautiful, great people. We have lost the freshness of emotion to look at the events around us and how ordinary people have attained to such high standards of personal behavior. They may not have achieved great economic success or financial prosperity, but in their actions of day-to-day life, they have set great examples. And it doesn't require a great leader to tell us how we may hope to live, but it's the examples of these ordinary people, day-to-day life, the charity they show, the kindness they are capable of, and the way in which they express their conception of an impersonal love for mankind. It's not a personal love that becomes a business. It's an impersonal love for mankind. And these are the essential attributes of what we call in our traditional language the four Purusharthas: Artha, Kama, Dharma, and Moksha. And in each manifestation, in fact, it is the religious sanction that sanctions the enjoyment of pleasures. And Kama is supposed to be divine. Kamos means Sarvabhuteshu Bhartarshava. He says, the Lord says, I am the power of the righteous lust, but it should be Dharma Aviruddha. It should not be opposed to Dharma. And they have shown in their lifetime, these great people, how life's fulfillment comes with the sources of fulfillment of life. Ganesh Rao died just about 60 years. His lady, gracious lady, great lady who was the center of the whole family, she passed away when she was hardly 58. Sundarswamy lost his wife and she was only 41. And this story, the that it tells us that how they have faced happiness, joy, sorrows, and they all they establish a relationship with the reader. It is not some kind of a personality who is deified. Ordinary people can rise to the level of divinity by their actions and their thought and their philosophy. It is their personal philosophy that is made manifest in these pages. And as an admirer of Ganesh Rao and his son Sundar Swami was a great gracious friend of mine, and Naganand, of course, he is the younger generation, but there is a great author hidden inside him. He will come out in course of time, and with this busy practice that he found time to write this beautiful narration. The style is so beautiful, and I enjoyed every page of it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience and courtesy. And I mention my personal equivalent equation with that family because I find very few people who have thought like Mr. Ganesh Rao. When the young lawyers from Hyderabad and Bombay came to Bangalore, when there was a unification of the Karnataka state, Ganesh Rao invited every one of those youngsters. People were in Bangalore were reticent to hire out houses for them. They are all come from outside. They were outsiders, and the local people were a little skeptical about lending houses, letting houses out to lawyers. In that time, Ganesh Rao invited all of them to his house, gave them a good repast, and then told them the whole library of his is at their disposal. And whatever help they wanted, they would give. All of them, most of them, rose to great heights. They remember the way in which Ganesh Rao treated them when they came there. They're all small acts of courtesy and personal charm, but they add up to something which in totality means the joy of life, the joy of family life. And this book is a monument to the celebration of simple joys of householder's life. And that is what relates us to the book and connects us with the characters. Thank you very much for your patience and courtesy. And I congratulate once again Naganand for the beautiful contribution that he has made. And I also congratulate the Oakbridge people who have done a magnificent job. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Guruji, for your graciousness. Namaskar.
Thank you, Chief Justice Venkatachalaya, for your usually scintillating talk. But it was fascinating to see how you've gone back in terms of memory to something which happened 70 years, 60 years ago, and recalled so many facts about our family and your association with them. I think the readers who I hope will read this book will form into 2 or 3 categories. One is a person who is my co-professional who would like to know what is the meaning of success, what is hard work, and how do you build a name and a reputation in society. The other category would be young people who are coming into the world, looking into the legal profession or any other profession, where usually what happens, everybody today looks like they want only unicorns. Where the financial press today is talking that Bangalore is the point where you have the highest number of unicorns in the world anywhere. Even we are beaten even America. So that is what everybody is eyeing at. But to reach a level like that in your personal life and your spiritual life and your moral and ethical life that you lead, that is something which I think the book has some stories for all of us. And I hope that it will subserve a little bit of introspection in the right thinking of right thinking people in the society, which hopefully will take some light from what our ancestors and we have all achieved in our lives. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I deeply honor all your presence. Thank you very much.
Initially, you were saying that COVID.
COVID. How did COVID help the book? So I was mentioning that the uh, the first round of COVID was when everything was shut down, and so I started thinking about it. I had some thoughts in my mind. In fact, my late uncle Subbarao used to always tell me this, that my father wanted to write a book, and he used to go every weekend to our Sunday Kupa temple and spend overnight. And he said on more than one occasion, he asked his brother-in-law, that is my uncle Subbarao, to be his scribe. So he said 3 times he started writing. My father started dictating something, and as soon as Subbarao finished 2 pages, somebody would drop into the temple. Something unexpected would happen, and he said, "Okay, we'll continue it next time when we come." And this happened 3 or 4 times. And finally, my uncle told me that he never got down to doing it. So thanks that there was no COVID at the time. So the COVID situation helped me because there was nothing else to do, and I was sort of locked down at home. And I had my niece who helped to transcribe most of it until I sort of became familiar with actually dictating it and using the voice dictation system on my iPad. And then I started doing that on my own. But largely, she took it down. And then it had to be organized because these were just random thoughts that kept coming to my mind. And I kept on dictating. And then Sharda, my youngest daughter, has done a stupendous job because what she did was she looked at the text. Of course, there was not too much of correction editing to be done, but it had to be organized. So she organized the whole thing into different chapters. And as I dictated also, I did not follow a very strict chronology. I would talk about one episode and then jump, say, 20 years later and go back 30 years. So as you start reading the book, you'll realize that it is not chronologically that he was born on this day, he finished his education on this day. That's not how the book goes. It goes up and down in terms of time. And I think it's going to be an interesting read for those of you who take the trouble of reading it. I think that's all I had to say, and thank you very much. I owe a great debt of gratitude to Mr. Shirish Chandra and his colleague Priyanka Srivastava's invaluable support. She was so cooperative, and there were so many mails that we exchanged, and it was a wonderful process working with them. And I hope the product is going to commend itself to readers and persons who are interested in literature. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Just a few lines here. As publishers, books are a part of our life. So day in and day out, we work on books. But it is only on certain occasions that we get a book like this in our hands, when we lay our hands onto a book like this, which is a marvelous storytelling in itself. So as much as Naganandji enjoyed penning it down, we enjoyed reading it through and bringing it in the form of a book. So we thank him for the opportunity that he gave us. We are a young publisher, but I really thank him that he gave us the opportunity to be his publisher and bring to life his valuable work that he put together. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Of course, my team joins me in all the hard work that has happened. And as he said, that unfortunately, but we have to thank COVID that this came to light. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And I really, really appreciate this. Thank you.